Fundamentally, though, when you look at this legislation that the Victorian government has pushed through, should the federal government not have do they not have the ability to, in the same way that they stopped Dan Andrews creating his own foreign policy, do they not have the ability to neutralise?
They have the ability. They have the ability. The question is, do they have the will?
Right.
So they could actually say, no, I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah, this is a national issue.
Yeah, you can't
and
do this.
We'll deal with it nationally. Thank you very much. And besides, your legislation is void for being unconstitutional.
See you later.
And offending the anti-discrimination, racial discrimination laws, as well as...
Do we think that any future government, let's say of a different colour, would have the intestinal fortitude to do that?
Well, they don't have intestines anymore. But what would stop other types of legislation that impinges on the federal purview happening in states? And then what happens to the federation?
Well, federation falls apart. Our current Lord Mayor, I recall, saying some long time ago that Victoria, with its sovereignty, perhaps should secede from the Commonwealth. So they can't, because we were one indivisible Commonwealth. But to even be thinking that is ridiculous.
Well, we've heard such nonsense from time to time. But it comes up in Western Australia every so often when they're doing very well with resources, they want to secede. When they're not doing so well, they'd like to be part of the Commonwealth.
Yes.
And they were the last of the party, by the way, as we know. So anyway, but yeah, it's interesting. I do wonder whether a future government would have the wherewithal to address this, or are we enshrining this forever in the way that we run this state? And God forbid, does it become a template for other left-leaning governments and other states to do the same thing? We've seen in South Australia, as I mentioned before, the South Australian opposition has said that they will repeal the Indigenous body as being completely unrepresented for the reasons I mentioned before. We've had the opposition here make some sort of statement, although very little was said during the passing of this. The question becomes, do others follow this lead?
That I think there was less said by the opposition on this matter because they had no impetus from their electorate to make a decision one way or the other, because the issue wasn't canvassed broadly.
I'd like to see the federal government set a goal for Australia to unite Australia, and a goal that is to enable the citizens of Australia to live happy, fulfilling, creative lives. And that goal is what all legislation should aim towards.
All citizens, no matter where you were born, where you come from, what your colour, creed, religion is, none of that matters. That's supposed to be a democratic process, right? But
so all voters are equal?
Well, theoretically, yes. What interests me is that this, and Ken, you raised this point again off air, this 300 pages didn't just appear in the space of a couple of days.
No, there's so much detailed work involved, also amending a whole range of other acts of the Victorian government that have been in operation for donkey's years and continue, of course. I can't imagine that it took less than a month or more. It's been going on for at least 2 years, and I estimate that would be immediately after the voice referendum result.
So this was the backstop in their minds?
Yes.
So the activist group?
Yes.
We didn't get the voice, but we'll do it our own way?
Yes.